History was made this weekend in Syracuse. For the first time ever, a women's jersey now hangs from the rafters in the Carrier Dome. Plus, field hockey plays in the NCAA tournament, women's cross country secures their spot at the national meet, and more. Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Lauren Helmbrecht, and this is another episode of Women's Sports Update for Orange TV Network. First up, our Katelyn McCarthy has this week's score updates.
Here's a look at last week's scoreboard. Ice hockey and Cornell were supposed to play last Tuesday, but the game got postponed due to the bomb threats happening at Cornell. For the first round of the NCAA tournament for field hockey, they faced number 4 Penn State and won 4-1. And then they played number 5 Maryland and they lost on Sunday 2-1. In the NCAA Northeast Regional at Boston for cross country, they finished second behind Harvard. They are now an automatic qualifier for the NCAA Cross Country Championship in Tallahassee, Florida, taking place this Saturday, November 20th. Volleyball had 2 matches this past weekend. On Friday, they faced number 3 Pittsburgh as they fell 3-2. And on Sunday, they traveled to Florida State and lost the match 3-1.
And I had a chance to witness that history. This Sunday at the women's basketball game versus Notre Dame, Syracuse University honored basketball legend Felicia Legette-Jack by retiring her number 33 jersey. Legette-Jack played for the Orange from 1984 to 89 and now serves as the head coach for the University at Buffalo's women's basketball team.
It's about phenomenon. It's a dream. It's inside all of us. And I'm here to show you if it can't come true.
They say after 33 years, your name is going to be lifted in the rafters. It's incredible. So I just am so excited. I'm so humbled, and I'm so ready for the next person to be in line for this, because every woman on our women's team deserves it. And I just pray that I can be alive to see the next one. There's nothing real special about you. It's a calling that is supposed to happen, and it's a story that's so supposed to be told. And when I saw it raised up, I just saw our community being lifted. I saw a lot of young people's dreams coming true, and I kept thinking about, this is so not about me. It's for those that slightly hope, can strongly hope, and they can mostly believe, because a little person from 308 Oakwood Ave, Brick City, came from that place to have her jersey retired. Anybody in between can become, and that's kind of what went through my mind.
And now here's Shannon Imbornoni to let us know what's upcoming for the Orange.
Speaking of women's basketball, let's start with them. Cuse will host Morgan State in the Carrier Dome Wednesday night at 7. The last time these two teams met was 2017, where Syracuse won 95-68 in their home opener. The Orange then will trade the cold weather of Syracuse for sunny skies and 80 degrees on Paradise Island in the Bahamas. The women will compete in the first ever Women's Battle for Atlantis tournament. The tournament will feature 8 teams, and Syracuse will tip off against the University of South Florida in Game 2, Saturday at 2:30. Depending if they win or lose, they will either face UConn or Minnesota on Sunday. The tournament wraps up Monday, the 22nd. After finishing second to Harvard in the Northeast Regional, cross country secured their spot in the NCAA Championship Saturday in Tallahassee, Florida. This will be their 9th team appearance at NCAAs. After 10 days of rest, ice hockey is back in action with a pair of games against Big Ten opponent Penn State. Penn State has not played a game since November 6th, coming off a win against Lindenwood, so these teams are well rested and ready to go. They play Friday at 7 and Saturday at 3. And more ACC action for Syracuse volleyball. The women host Duke Sunday at 1. The last time these two teams met was way back in September in Durham, where Cuse dominated, winning 3-0.
That's all we have for this week's show. Tune in next week for another episode of Orange Television Network's Women's Sports Update on the OTN YouTube channel.